Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you very much for joining me today in episode 26. I can't believe it. We're almost at the end. And I wanted to open today's commentary with a question for you guys. And maybe this is going to be more geared towards some of you, more seasoned PvP guys. But you up-and-coming PvP guys, you are going to, if you stick with it, that is, you are probably going to run into this at some point in your Souls PvP career. And the question I want to pose is a question that you ask yourself every PvP match, which is this really worth it? Is this actually going to be worth it? Now, here's what I'm getting at. We've seen this guy give me a couple of whacks here, and he does real bad damage. I can't really tell what he's using. What is that, a long sword looks like, something like that? So when I see a guy, and this brings up a couple of different points which we're going to hopefully get to, but when I see a guy who's dressed like this, well, I think of my my buddy, friend of the channel, Treble6, who's he's going through the game as all these starting classes, and we're going to get into that in a minute here. But when I see a guy who's wearing shit like this, I just think noob city, noobitis, nooberoni, right? This guy's lucky if he's got a +5, and this might be his first rodeo. He probably doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing in PvP. He just keeps trying to get behind me to backstab me. I gotta let my cat in. Hold on a second, guys. Alright, folks, excuse me. You know what? He did the thing that cats always do, which is, hey, let me in. And then you let him in, and then he'll walk around for like 5 seconds, and then he'll be like, cool, I'm leaving now. So I love cats, but they're kind of ridiculous. Anyway, what the hell were we talking about, guys? Excuse me. Right. When I see somebody dressed like this, I just think this guy's probably been playing the game for, I don't know, how long does it take to get to Anor Londo? A couple hours for someone who knows what they're doing, if that. Maybe a few hours, maybe a few days, right? Maybe, who knows, like a few weeks? Who knows? So I see something like a guy like that. Oh, and this is Socks here. We're going to see him a couple of times. I see a guy like that, and I just think, the likelihood of me tearing this guy's head off in about 2 minutes, in about 2 seconds, is pretty high, or it appears that way. And that's kind of leading into another point, which is looks can be deceiving. And I'll reference our friend Treble6 here, who's doing playthroughs as all the starting classes. And I think that you could be very easily fooled by that, because I've seen this guy's PvP chops, and let me tell you, they ain't bad, right? So you don't exactly know what's going on until you actually start fighting. But usually, once the fight begins, that's when all the cards are on the table, right? Like, you're gonna do, the guy's doing chicken shit damage, the guy's just, strafing me trying to get a backstab, and it's like, okay, I can pretty much figure out what's going on here. We're total noob city, and is it gonna be worth it for me to tear this guy apart? So of course I'll switch to, if the guy gives me a chance to, which I imagine he will, being that he can't do any damage, but I will switch to a much lesser damage output weapon. Which, as somebody just pointed out, I don't have it in front of me, but somebody just pointed out in the last video, or maybe the one before that, that you guys tend to do that too, which I think is a nice, honorable move. I'm sure the host appreciates that, or if they even have the capacity to know that you've done that, probably would appreciate that. Some hosts don't appreciate shit. That's just the way it is. The other thing I wanted to bring up, though, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because I actually have a video on it, and I will link to that video in the comments. Excuse me, in the description. Oh yeah, as soon as we start to turn the table on him, he disconnects, which is funny. So he decided that what we were doing to him was not worth it to him. And we're going to see that a lot. This, we're going to get back on topic in just a moment, but like this was actually the first time I invaded Socks, and I never even saw him. I didn't know where he was, and I just started taking it to Solaire. So I kind of got these out of order, but thank Christ, Socks had the foresight to see what was going on and go to the boss. Not that it mattered anyway, because I did invade him twice after that. So, just a brief thing about Dark Wraiths and the whole invasion mechanic, if you will. So, we're talking about, you know what? Maybe I should just let this guy live his life, right? Maybe this isn't really going to be worth it to anybody. This guy is obviously probably not very good. Not this guy specifically, but I mean, like we'll say the first guy that we had our interaction with. He looks pretty new. He doesn't really particularly know what he's doing. He wants to fight, okay, but for those guys who maybe don't want to fight, it's like you can go in you know, full hollow mode. I don't have a problem with that. It's an invasion. Do what you want to do, but you might get to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna let this guy go, right? Like I don't have to kill absolutely everybody, which is kind of sacrilege if you want to say that to. Oh, I don't know if you want to say this, but a real Dark Wraith, and I don't mean like the guys in New Londo. I mean like the real Dark Wraiths, like the guys who are so bloodthirsty that that's all they think about is just killing people in this game. And it's less about the interaction with them, and it's more about collecting the souls and the humanity, right? I don't play like that. I have played like that. I will play like that again, but typically I don't. And I'm not like fucking Mother Teresa or anything. I don't want you to think that. You guys have seen me, I'm gonna say it again, you guys have seen me cook some fools. I gotta stop using that. I got that from that movie Hot Fuzz. That was so fucking funny. I love that movie. So, I have played that role to some, sure, I'll pat myself on the succulent Chinese meal. I have played that role to some critical acclaim. But, gets a little boring after a while, doesn't it? And you might reach that point. I mean, you've already reached that point if we're talking about, I came in and the guy sucked, so I switched weapons to something that was shitty like he was. You know, that's a big paraphrase there, because I don't really want to say that anybody sucks, but let's face it, there's a lot of people who suck at PvP, and guess what? I was one of them at one point in time. And there's people who might watch this who say, well, you know what, Toon, I've seen some of your videos and you still suck. And I would probably tend to agree with that if you catch me on the right day. I do not look very good. So that's something that you might end up asking yourself, is this worth it? And we can have a conversation about that. I would love that. Now, I think you'll all agree with me here that this one was worth it. This guy comes in, tits up, piss and vinegar. I don't know any of these expressions. They're just, I don't know if this is what the kids say or what. I don't know. But this guy tries to get us with an R2. I'm not having it. We couldn't parry that for shit before, and now we can actually parry that. I look forward to parrying that. And after that guy tried that move, he's not getting away with that. He's getting the Uchi right in the spine. So anyway, guys, Ask yourselves, is it worth it? Do you care about the answer? I don't know. That's up to you. It's your invasion. It's your life. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see your fine ass later.